All that I am saying is that there are more efficient ways to battle this red madness. And heathen machines atop the Sun Temple are the last thing that will calm the townsfolk.
Maybe. But if this heathen machine is what the Pyreans used to combat the cycle, I want it near. Even if it turns out to be useless, only a fool turns down a chance. Sharim, how long will the reconstruction take?
Well, that depends on how many Pyrean mechanics you have on hand that can help us decipher these plans. Just think for once, Aranthio. How are we supposed to give you an estimation if we don't even know what the finished machine is supposed to look like?
We will get to work right away, Grandmaster. But in any case, we're going to need a lot of steel and Pyrean crystals.
You will get them. Now, get to work. You did excellent work. We will reconstruct this machine, no matter the price. Here, this will reward you for your effort. That still leaves the sigil stone. It's simple. I've told you that the Pyreans knew about the cycle, and that they too battled it before they vanished. The sigil stone was a magical defense they created to protect themselves from the Red Madness. Through small fragments that segregate once a certain ritual is performed on it. Wear one of these fragments and it will serve you like a shield for your spirit. The stone won't produce enough for all citizens of Ark, but enough for all of us keepers and the guard. The problem is that we lack knowledge about this ritual, and those who have it have been dead for millennia. Correct. The entire plan revolves around a discovery which is exhibited in the Chronicum. The frozen corpse of a Pyrean, which a fisherman found adrift in the Northern Sea some years ago. Yes, the ice prevented his body from decaying. But go to the Chronicum and speak to Archmagister Maragil. He will be able to explain it better than I can.
There you are. Did you find it?
Yes, here. But be careful, okay? Magister Ragon will have us flayed alive if you lose it.
I will, don't worry. Did you hear the news? This guy, who's been wandering around the temple most recently? Lucar told me the Grand Master believes he could help find a cure for this red madness.
The Red Madness? You mean...
Magister Yarrow, yes.
By Malthus, did you really need to remind me of that?
Well, it doesn't help to just close our eyes and pretend nothing ever happened. Even the Arcanists say this is not an ordinary disease. But still, I think they're holding back. They'd never trust us novices with the full truth, you know. I guess we're not as good as this Outlander or Keeper Sakaresh.
Probably not. Anyway, take care of that tome, alright?
Yeah, I will. Walk blessed, brother.
Prophet?
my Sir de Luna, and I felt it.
Huh? Can I?
Well,
Saira, good to see
I'll just have to live with it.
Lovely day, isn't it?
Saira, good to see you. Do you need anything?
Always complaining. This is really such a bad place.
It was stitched into the blanket they found me in near that village. I don't really know if it is my actual name, but I had nothing else to go with, so it stuck. Tattoo? Oh, of course, you mean my mark. I've had that for as long as I can remember, and I don't have the slightest idea as to how I got it.
Yeah. It's not as if I didn't tell them that already.
It does. You're the first to tell me that, but thanks, I guess. That's what Tyrus said too, but if it has a meaning, it's obscure. I couldn't find anything in the books, and the Magisters couldn't put their fingers on it either. No, it isn't. It's just there, that's all. Not without leaving a bad scar, at least according to the apothecary. And even if that weren't the case, I don't know if I'd want it gone. It reminds me of something. Well, as I told you, I was never very popular with the other novices. You know, the novitiate was very challenging. The Magisters only rarely gave us days off to contemplate, as they called it. The others usually used it to go to the tavern to gamble and drink. I never really liked that kind of pastime, and I still don't. I've never really thought about things like that. You know, life in the temple is quite secluded, and I doubt there are many men or women who would find my way of living attractive. But forgive me, that's very personal. I don't really want to talk about it. That's true, but when I feel the need to relax, I prefer taking a stroll or spending time in the baths. Whatever secret there is about relaxing to loud music, raucous shouting, and alcohol is beyond me. That's convenient, actually. I think I still owe you an explanation. Yes, but let's talk somewhere else. Come on. So, sorry for all the secrecy. I just didn't want anyone else to listen in. Well, that moment when I neutralized the leader of the bandits in Old Dothelgrad, I'm sure you noticed that I was different then. The bandit leader, when he lured you into that trap and tried to trick me, you must have noticed there was something unusual about me when I dealt with him. Upset. You choose your words carefully, Saira. I appreciate that. I'll make this quick. There is something about me that you don't know. That no one knows, actually. Do you remember what I told you in the curarium about the destroyed village? Well, I wasn't entirely honest with you. Not all of it, no, and it's true that I don't know how I ended up there. But I remembered something just before I regained consciousness. Some kind of vague memory. A feeling coupled with an image. It's hard to describe because it didn't last very long, but I saw myself, but I was somehow above the rooftops, as if I flew. Below me, I saw all the chaos, the dead, the fire, the devastated houses, and I somehow felt hot, but from inside, as if my blood was boiling. That sounds crazy, doesn't it? I'm sorry, but I don't know how to describe it better than that. It was something that actually happened, I'm sure of it. But the memory, it was somehow blurred. Like a dream, but a very vivid one. Nothing. I woke up, and from there things happened just as I've already told you. But that's not really what I'm trying to get at. In that memory, when I saw all those dead bodies and all that destruction, I felt satisfaction, pleasure. As if all that suffering, all that pain was the most exhilarating thing I'd ever seen. Well, I didn't know what to make of that memory myself for quite a long time. But then, things happened that made me understand. There is something inside my head, Saira. Some kind of second soul, an entity. Most of the time it sleeps, but there are situations in which it wakes up. Mostly when something atrocious happens or has happened. Blood, pain, death. Whenever I'm confronted with these kinds of things, it tries to... I don't know how to put it. Tries to take control of me, and then things like Alt-Thulgrad happen. It's never managed to completely take me over, and it hasn't gotten as far as it did in Alt-Thulgrad for a long, long time now. But that memory from the village, I think that is what happens when I let myself go completely. Yes, it is immense, Saira. I can feel it every time it is trying to take me over. I don't even want to think about what would happen if I were to give in completely. If that name seems fitting to you, then yes. But I think we both know these stories about ghosts taking over the living are just stories to scare the common folk. If it helps you, think of it as some kind of temptation. One that's just waiting for the moment when I am too weak to contain it. I figure. Listen, what happened in Old Dothulgrad? I let it come to that. But that moment when he charged me, the blood on his sword, I just couldn't contain it. And when I gave in, when I hacked him into pieces, I simply felt so thrilled, complete. I was naive to believe it would never get that far again. Naive and stupid. But do you see now? This is the reason why I train so hard, why I always try to control my emotions, no matter what people do or say to me. This creature inside me, it's always on the hunt. And the only way I can keep it at bay is by controlling both my body and spirit 100%. Just one moment of carelessness. That's all it takes. No way that I know of, at least. Who should I ask? The apothecary? There are two ways that would go. Either they would ridicule me, or they would take me seriously and report my condition to the Order. Neither way helps me, and who knows what the Order would do if they found out. especially as strained as the situation is right now. Only Master Tyrus, my foster father. He taught me how to contain it by controlling my thoughts. And he also advised me never to tell anyone about it, which I haven't, until today. I don't know. Probably because I was afraid you'd tell someone else about what happened in Old Dothelgrad and that would raise suspicions. A coward's move, I know, but it was the best solution I could come up with. I'm sorry. I don't know. And truth be told, I'm not sure I want to. Well, what would be the alternative? Transcribe Pyrean books like the Magisters do all day? Or drop out entirely and pour hot water for the upper city's noblewomen? Look, Saira, as you've already pointed out, there is a chance that this thing inside me is responsible for the massacre in the village. And if that's true, I definitely have a lot of repentance to do, don't you think? And even if it isn't, I want to change things, to make the world at least a little bit better. And yes, I do realize that this means a lot of hardship and hard work for me, but I'm not afraid of that. Do you know why? Because that's what's missing in this world. So many people just talk, and never act, because that would mean that they'd have to actually endure something for what they believe in. Yes, I know. Sorry, I shouldn't have gotten so emotional. I just wanted to clear this up. Anyway, the one thing I ask of you is to keep silent about what I've told you. It will never come to something like that again, I promise. I'd like some time by myself now, and thanks for listening.
Transcribe verse 80 100 times. Surge fire. Magisters never change.
Yeah. The fabled prodigy.
Oh, hey.
So what's so spectacular about this? To me, our pal here looks like your average trip corpse.
Well, he isn't. Do you see this marking on his forehead? That's a symbol of the Ascian, one of the two priest castes who reigned over the Pyrean Empire like the Lightborn did over Vin. He was no high priest, but more than an acolyte. Let's just hope he participated in the manufacture of the sigil stone back in the Pyrean era.
Well, hoping can't hurt. But look, we have company.
Dalvarek, Archmagister, how's the situation?
Walk blessed, Grandmaster. We're fine. Everything is ready. So this is him?
Yes, this is the Prophet.
Interesting. Truly interesting. I imagined you to be different. I'm Lexiel Marigil, Archmagister of the Holy Order. Pleased to make your acquaintance. So, where do we start? Has the Grandmaster already informed you of the goal of this mission? Correct. Now you're wondering, how will this be possible? This is where the Word of the Dead comes into play. An old relic we'll need to find.
The Word of the Dead? I thought that was a legend.
No, it exists. And we also know where. Just so you understand, the Word of the Dead is an artifact that allows entering a deceased person's mind to relive his last memories as if they were your own.
And you want to do just that with our frozen pal here. This is the grand plan, right?
Right. You'll need to locate the Word of the Dead, teleport the Pyrean's body to you, and then enter his thoughts. And there you'll have to look for the words of the ritual. Well, we only lack the last words of this ritual. What you have to look for is an ornamental scroll, which looks just like the one on the drawing I'll give you in a moment. All you have to do is remember the glyphs and the scroll, then write them down once you're back in the waking world. True, but we're talking about a different form of magic. It works similarly to the forbidden school of entropy. That's right, but the priest himself did, and according to the legend, this should allow you to understand. You're telling me. I myself feel like a myriad in a toad's pond. But alternatively, we'd have to excavate every ruin on Vin and hope that some priest left one of the scrolls behind. Well, this is...
There's an old manor in Enderal's west that belongs to an old collector of artifacts. We received a tip that the Word of the Dead is in his possession.
Hang on. Are you talking about this odd fellow with the puppets? The aged man from the folk song?
I am. You won't take it. It will be enough to find it. Use it on the Pyrean and then leave. You will travel to the manor with Dalvarek, wait for nightfall, and then introduce yourself to the aged man as a fellow collector of artifacts. Then you will offer him this brooch, and if all goes well, he will offer you a quarter for the night to negotiate in the morning. Then it's all a matter of timing. Sneak out of your room, look for the Word of the Dead, and teleport the Pyrean to you. A good question, but no. The aged man is special, so to speak. Even the Lightborn ordered us to let him live in peace. The Black Guardian knows why. So, if we have to trick him, we will at least do it inconspicuously, which is why you and the mercenary are well suited for the task. No one will connect your faces to the Holy Order. Then you'll flee. There must be no violence, no matter what happens. Archmagister?
Yes, well, that is a good point. We don't know, because we don't even know what the artifact looks like. But, how goes the saying? The proof of the eating is in the pudding.
We'll manage somehow. And even if we don't, it definitely sounds like an adventure.
It's a great responsibility, be aware of that. But I have faith in both of you. Now get going as soon as you can. This mission will be fruitful. I can feel it.
Whew. And there they go. Yep, just meet me at the Myrids Tower at the Western Cliff. I'll go grab my stuff now.
So he knows what he's doing. Wherever you look. Where is this supposed to lead?
light, my glimmer at the horizon. Thy name is my sacrament.
Yes?
Huh? What do you want? My sir.
Hello.
Malfash is blessed, and our room's looking for you. Good. We'll open up the room for you. And please, no shady business.
Move along.
We walk the righteous path in it.
You should go
don't
into the
want any
whisper
trouble.
and see what you can
Come
find
back
when you're
anytime.
important. I'll wait for you in the Undercity, in my laboratory.
I am Caesar. Hard times.
I just don't see the fucking point. Some people just don't.
Yes?
Hear my words, O path-abiding people of this holy city. A miracle has happened, a miracle that must have been, due to its sheer glory.
Walk blessed. Sure, take a look.
Yes, you have heard right.
Blessed. Sure, take a look. Sure, take a look. Walk blessed.
Hungry? I've got just what a weary traveler needs.
Just have to work if you want. Come to your rental shop and buy fish. Only the best and fresh from the Red Sea.
Anything for friends of path abiding magic.
War on Nerum. War on Kile. Red madness. The fuck is wrong with this world?
Hear my words, O path abiding people of this whole. Hear my words, O path abiding people of this holy city.
Change.
Rumors circulate.
That's just how it is.
Apples, dates, bananas, the freshest fruits right from the farmer's coast and Doonville.
All you who live now, fear, hear my words. Do not afraid. Only the weak of pathless spirits are prone to the worst.
Fruits, vegetables, bread fresh from the Treat yourself.
Only the best. Straight from Kile. For the Lord holds his protective hand over us, as he has
It's
done
not as
for
if I didn't
millennia.
tell that already.
Hungry for art in secrets? I have books, scrolls, potions, anything for friends. Path abiding magic.
If it's clam and fish, seek, then come and take a good long peek.
We always go too easy on the scum.
Hear my words, O path abiding people of this holy city. Many of you may have heard it already. There's war in Kira. Hear my words, O path abiding
Walk.
people of this
Sure, take a look. Walk blessed.
circulate. Rumors about the horrible events of the past moons. They speak red madness.
Hungry for arcane secrets?
It just doesn't work, Magister, no matter how hard I try.
Yes, and there you have the problem. You try.
I'm afraid I do not follow, Master.
That's just how it is.
Okay, I'll admit, it was a little cryptic. Tell me, do you remember the lecture Magister Diana gave last moon?
Yes, I think I do. You mean the one she held a few days before that thing with Magister Yarrow happened?
Yes, exactly. Do you also remember how she described the workings of magic? The secret of it, if you will.
King.
Wait.
Dark as the sun.
She said the key to magic is that... that...
Thousand raindrops.
What blessed?
Guardian, I forgot. I am sorry.
She said, the secret of magic is to see possibilities where there were none. Do you understand what she's trying to say with that, Tullius? The only reason we arcanists can cast magic is because we see the world differently than other people. We don't conjure the fireball, the scorching air, the smoke. All of these are just some of the millions of shapes the here and now can take on. All you need to do is see the reality you need and transfer a part of it to ours. And this is what I mean by your problem is that you tried. Everything you need to cast a spell was always here. It still is, and will always be. You only need to be the one who brings it into our reality. The scrolls, the hand signs, those are just...
Sir?
Now look.
The same play. Day after day.
Do you see it? The fountain, the water particles, the sudden acceleration in that one particular moment. They were always here. I was only the one who brought them together, in this reality, and in this very moment.
I think I understand.
If this were the case, you would be a more gifted mage than the Grand Master Oranthiel was in this noble. But you will understand with enough work into this. Now come on, let's go back to the temple. You've done well today.